naked bikes are cool, but there's not a whole lot of places to attach anything to. And I want to make a mount to attach my 360 camera to get a shot from the rear of the bike. I already have one for the front, so my options are kind of limited back here on the tail. So what I'm going to do is take a scrap piece of steel and drill some holes to fit behind the passenger footrest here. Then I'm going to cut halfway through with an angle grinder, fold this over, put a little weld on it to reinforce it, and then when it comes out here behind the footrest, I'll bend it or twist it at whatever angle I need to. And I'll show you with this piece of PVC pipe here, just as an example, to basically mount my invisible selfie stick to that steel mount at the right angle so that my camera will be back here. And really, all you need for this job is a angle grinder and a drill. You could get by with just bending it by hand without doing the weld, without cutting it and making that sharp 90-degree bend. You could just put like a gradual bend in it by hand. 1/8 steel is very easy to bend by hand. You don't need heat or a torch or anything. So here's the test fit. I've got my 90-degree bend cut and welded in. Got my holes lined up right so that it mounts right here behind the passenger footrest. But to get the pole at the angle that I want, I need to make a slight bend right about here and then drill out the 1/4-inch hole for the end of the invisible selfie stick. So it won't be as much twisting and bending as I thought, just a slight little bend. For the final little bend in there, I just put it in a vise and used an adjustable crescent wrench to bend it just slightly inward like that. That way my pole would have the right angle to be centered behind my bike. All right, let's go ahead and bolt everything together and take it for a little test. Sync. So it's not raining today. Sun's out, but it is cold. It's going to warm up a little bit later. I think the high is going to be around 50, but then it gets even colder tomorrow. But I'm not going to test out the rear mount until I get to a nice wide open parking lot. It should be pretty clean from debris and stuff like that, because I don't have lens guards yet for my camera. And if you ever look at the back of a motorcycle and see all the crud and filth and dirt and grime that's up under the rear end, especially a bike like this that doesn't have much of a mud guard, all that stuff is going to come flying up right at your camera lens. And I'd hate to ruin my new camera. So I'm just going to put it on the back for a short amount of time, test it out, see how it is, and then I won't use that mount until those lens guards come in. So first, I'm going to try it on the rear with the lens up. When I was riding it with it like that on the front, on my first test, I liked the stitch line better. When I had the side of the camera facing up, you could see a stitch line right through the front, right next to my headlight, and it looked kind of funky. So I'm going to try it with the lens up first, and then I'll switch it over and try it with the side of the camera up and see if it makes any difference on the rear. You know, because the position's different. The stitch line might fall, you know, somewhere off to the side and not look so bad. Well, I need to get a shorter thumb screw. I put a longer one in here because I thought, man, if this thing comes loose, you know, if you have a couple inches of extra thread on there, keep your pole from falling off, that's pretty good. But try to kick it off. Alright, just going to do some leisurely riding around out here to try to get the sides of my tires scrubbed in. It'll also change the angle of the light hitting the camera. So you'll see how that stitch line looks as it kind of revolves around. Make sure I don't get any loose leaves or anything out here. Alright, let's see. Let me change that angle of the camera and see how the footage looks. Let's see. We'll go like that. Oh no, that might put a stitch line right through here. Still got about an inch of chicken strip on the sides there, so I'll just take it easy for a little while until those get broken in. Go ahead and rotate this camera back, lens up. I'll go ahead and ride it back to the house. Not too far. This dude has been out here spinning this sign consistently for about a year. It doesn't matter how hot, how cold, he's always wearing the same thing. He's got his khaki shorts, his little rag hanging off the back of his hat, fingerless gloves.